Soft piano music in background. Slow zoom on a rainy street scene. Narrator. Calm. Emotional. What would you do if a helpless baby showed up at your door, with no name, no past, and no one to love her? Would you take her in, even if it meant losing everything? Today's story is about a woman named Amara, who made a choice that changed her entire life, and years later, the man who abandoned her came back, broken, begging for help. Scenes of a quiet town. A modest home. A woman watering plants. Amara was a quiet woman in her late 30s. She lived in a conservative town with her husband, Malik. From the outside, they looked like a typical couple, married for 7 years, no children, a simple life. But inside their home, the silence was heavy. Years of trying for a child had worn down their hope, and their marriage. Malik had grown bitter. "Maybe it's just not meant to be," he would say coldly, pouring tea without looking at her. Amara still believed in love, believed in miracles. But even she was beginning to give up. Until one rainy evening, everything changed. Sounds of thunder. Cut to Amara walking outside with an umbrella. She was about to lock the back gate when she heard it, a faint, weak cry. Behind a garbage bin, wrapped in a thin, soaked blanket, was a baby. No more than 3 or 4 months old. No note. No name. Just trembling fingers and eyes full of fear. Amara didn't think twice. She wrapped the child in her shawl and brought her inside. She lit the stove, warmed some milk, and held her close. The baby clung to her like she'd known her forever. For the first time in years, Amara felt whole. But when Malik came home and saw the child, everything fell apart. Tense music begins. Malik storms in. Malik stared at the child like she was a curse. "Whose baby is this?" Amara explained, breathless. "She was abandoned. I couldn't leave her there, Malik. She needs us." But Malik's voice turned cold. "She's not ours. You bring home some street child and expect me to accept this?" Amara pleaded, "We always wanted a child. Maybe this is how she was meant to come to us." He raised his hand, not to hit, but to silence. "You return her tomorrow, or you leave with her." That night, Amara sat awake, rocking the baby gently. And as the rain fell harder outside, she made her choice. She packed a bag, and walked out of the only home she'd ever known. The next months were brutal. Amara stayed at a women's shelter, worked as a cleaner during the day, and sewed clothes at night. She named the baby Lena, after a flower that survives in the desert. People whispered, "Why burden yourself with someone else's child? You should have gone back to your husband." But Amara never wavered. She poured her love into Lena, teaching her to walk, to read, to believe in herself. As years passed, things began to change. A kind woman at the shelter helped Amara get a job as a school librarian. A local charity gave her a microloan. She started a small daycare in her home, taking in children whose parents worked late. Her home was now full of laughter, crayons, and the sound of life. Upbeat, warm music begins. Slow zoom on a community center, children playing. 10 years went by. Lena was now a bright, confident girl, top of her class, beloved in the neighborhood. Amara's daycare had become a proper center, recognized by the local council. She had even been featured in a local newspaper. The Mother of the Forgotten, a title she wore with pride. Meanwhile, Malik had disappeared from her life. Until one winter afternoon. Somber music returns. Cut to a coughing old man walking through the gate. Amara was cleaning up when she heard a knock on the gate. There he stood, older, thinner, eyes sunken. Malik. He looked nothing like the man who once turned her away. His business had failed. His friends had abandoned him. He was sick, living in a small rented room. "I have no one, Amara," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "You were right. I was wrong. Please, help me." Lena walked up beside her. She looked at him, the man who threw her and her mother into the cold. But she said nothing. Amara's voice was calm. "You abandoned us when we needed you most. You chose pride over love. What makes you think we owe you anything now?" Malik broke down. "I'm not asking to stay. Just something to eat. Somewhere warm tonight." Amara paused. Then she walked inside and came back with a warm meal. She set it down outside the gate. "This is kindness, Malik. Not forgiveness. I feed the hungry, even if they once fed me pain." She closed the gate gently. Malik sat down on the steps, eating slowly, silently. Gentle piano music. Cut to Lena hugging Amara. Lena looked up at her mother and asked, "Why did you help him?" Amara smiled, brushing her daughter's hair aside. "Because we are not like him, my love. We don't turn people away in their weakest moments, not even those who did it to us. That's how we stay strong. That's how we stay human."